Well, wherever you are watching this program today, I would like to welcome you to Real Women, Real Life. You know, when I was getting ready this morning to start recording during this day, I actually thought to myself, what a privilege and honor it is for us to be able to come into your space wherever you may be watching this program. It is an honor. We don't take it lightly. We thank you for taking the time out to join us on today's program. And the whole program of Real Women is geared towards inspiring, giving you hope, giving you just something to grab onto, to hold onto for the week. Maybe you've had a really tough week this last week. Maybe you've heard some terrible, tragic news. Maybe you've experienced trauma, or maybe you're going through a time of absolute victory. Whatever it might be, this program is for you. And you know, something I love doing on Real Women is bringing someone onto the program with me that can help me to inspire you. And I believe that the program today is definitely going to do that. And the lady I have on set most definitely will do that. Welcome, Lorna.
Thank you.
It's good to have you back on the program. You've been with us before.
It's an honor. I love this show.
It is so good to have you here. Now, Lorna, I was looking again at your, if I can say, your credentials, my goodness me, you really are a busy lady. You do so much. So just to name a few, just to introduce you again to Lorna, you hold a Mrs. Africa transcontinental title, which means that you went to America to represent your continent. Is that correct?
That's correct. I represented the continent of Africa in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Mrs. Transcontinental competition, which is like Mrs. World, Mrs. Universe. It's for married women.
Okay.
And I won.
You
won
went
the world
on to
title.
win. That's amazing. That is incredible. You're doing Africa Pride.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay, so that in itself is quite a big thing, but that's not even what we're talking to Lorna about today. On top of that, you had a very traumatic experience a few years ago when your husband was kidnapped.
That's true, yes. My husband was kidnapped. I usually joke a little bit with it and tell the women out there that I unfortunately don't have the kidnappers' numbers anymore.
So you can't phone
so
them.
many people ask me when I speak at different events and functions is, all jokes aside, but do you still have those numbers? Because I actually want to strangle my husband.
Could be useful.
This
was a real time in your life, and you wrote a book about it.
I did write a book. It is on my website, www.lornagreyling.com.
Okay.
And it's called Kidnapped. And it's very inspiring.
Yes.
You know what? It is about God's incredible grace, how He can hold you up in tough times supernaturally, when everybody is expecting you to fall apart, how His glory and His grace can come and strengthen you. It's phenomenal.
It is beautiful.
It's phenomenal. And it's a glorious testimony of,
for sure,
of how he got out. It's actually a miracle.
Yes, it is a miracle.
Because many people died and he's alive.
And he is alive and doing well. And that is a testimony on its own. We had Lorna on the program a few months or a few years ago. I can't even remember now when it was. And I actually think that program is on our YouTube channel. So if you missed it, go and check it out. It is quite a phenomenal testimony. So you went through that trauma, you went through this victory, and you obtained the victory in it. Now, on top of that, Lorna, you are also a woman involved in various charitable organizations, constantly doing different things to support your community. Why is that so important for you?
You know what? I think when God gives you a vision and the means to go out and do that vision, I don't know if that's the right word.
Yes.
When you don't do it, you are walking in disobedience. And that scripture that comes up to me is, you know, faith without works are dead.
Right.
So to walk out the glory of God and what He's done in my life personally, how He saved me, how He turned my life from a life with drugs, a bad marriage, all those kind of things into a life that can now serve other people, that can bring His word, that can glorify Him through who I am and what I do.
Yes.
I've got to take that as far as I can because it's this burning fire inside of me. And I think by doing that, it also keeps me alive. It keeps me on fire because otherwise it's so easy to go, oh God, I remember that day when I was saved, when God moved in my life and things changed. I wish I could go back there.
Right, that's true.
So easily that
keep
can
it
happen.
fresh.
So to stay alive and to walk that out is awesome, because that makes the fire burn, and it keeps the fire burning. And for me, that is very necessary.
Yes.
It's very
and I found
necessary.
that so encouraging. I think even for us to be reminded of the fact that when God has done something good for you in your life, one of the best things that you can do in return is to testify about that.
Amen.
And to tell others about God's goodness. And I think when I look at your life and when I follow you on Facebook and I see everything that you're up to, your life is exactly that. You are constantly reflecting back God's goodness and saying, yes, I've been through some really hard things in life, but yes, I've also experienced so much grace and so much goodness, and I am reflecting back that beauty of what God has given you. And so in that, you're involved in all these different things. Now, on top of that, it doesn't end, you're also involved in the movie industry. Lorna, what is going on? Are you going into movies? What is happening?
You know what? I think God has got such a sense of humor, because when I was at school, I never thought I was good enough really for anything.
Yes.
If I had to stand up in a classroom just to read, you know, when you're in school, teachers give everybody the opportunity to read out loud in class. And from a young age, some kids just handle it better than others. And for me, it was the worst time of my life. When I would be called, I mean, I would see the cue coming. You know how it goes. You know, you could see, okay, they're starting there, so it's coming closer and closer.
Yeah.
And I mean, my heart would be pounding. I couldn't breathe. By the time I had to stand up, there was no energy in my legs. I couldn't stand. I was shaking. I was battling to speak the words. Like, I could read properly, but all of a sudden, I couldn't see.
Stress and anxiety.
The stress. So what a testimony for me to be able to stand in front of a TV camera and be on a show like today, and be on stage and testify in front of thousands of people of God's glory.
That's it.
That is how God works. He takes the most unlikely person and turns it into an incredible testimony.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's
because
beautiful.
it's by His power alone.
Yes.
And that makes it so incredible. So yes, I am starting to move into the movie ministry.
Okay.
A couple of months ago, God gave me a very profound word saying that He wants to, through me, make movies to glorify His name and to bring the word of Christ into people's homes, because so often these days everybody is on their tablets and everybody's watching TV, pictures, and what a better opportunity for us to bring His word into homes than through movies. Everybody watches movies, so I started a movie ministry, and people can sow into it. It is on my Facebook, or they can just contact me and I can send them the details. And we are hoping to start our first movie this year.
That is so exciting.
Will bring glory to God. Yes.
That is so exciting, you know, and I think when you look at a project like a movie, it seems so huge and seems so daunting, and seems like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to get all the resources that's necessary? But you are aware of that, but it's not deterring you, and you're just keeping on. You've got the faith, you've got the goal in mind, you know what you're doing, you know what God is doing. You might not know what you're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing. But I think I can tell you I don't know what I'm doing.
But you know that God knows. And once again, that is just something so encouraging, because when God tells you to do something, how often is our response to God, but how? How, Lord? How am I supposed to do that? I mean, come on, you've got to understand, you've got to agree with me that this is you've probably said that this very week, right? I know, I'm talking to you. And where God says, come on, do that, go do this, you can do this. I want you to go and speak to this person or to make that happen. And our first response is, but how?
Me?
Me? But why me? But how? But in your case, you're like, okay, Lord, let's do it. I have no idea what I'm doing, but let's do it.
I must admit, I did have a little bit of help from God. You know, when your faith is not really quite enough, He usually puts somebody on your path to just lift you a little bit. So I can't take all the credit and all the glory, because as I got this word from God, a movie producer phoned me and he said, Lorna, you were on my mind. I don't know why, but I want to share this with you. I'm going into movies, And I want you to work with us.
Yes.
He's been making movies for years.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and he's
Wonderful.
a huge Christian child of God with just so much vision and such a passion and such a Holy Spirit drive.
Yes. Yes.
So 2 big movie producers in our country, we are
Fabulous.
working together. And
Well,
yeah,
that's
awesome.
God's character.
Yes.
He doesn't just give you something and leave you hanging.
Yes.
He doesn't just tell you something and like, well, now go figure it out on your own, my sweetie. No, he will always give you, how's that saying? If God orders it, he provides. If God tells you to do something, he will always bring someone along your path to assist you. And that is the God that we serve. He's not going to just tell you to do something and just say, now go figure it out. You know, he will always
and also
be there.
so that we can't take all the glory
Yes.
afterwards as well.
Yeah.
I think because that so easily happens
True.
these days.
True.
And then if we get something right, it's like the spiritual pride can so easily come with
Yeah.
us and like, oh, look what I've
Yes,
done.
yes.
Oh, thank you.
Clever me.
Just moved one step up there.
That is very, because it's always,
We've got to be
always
careful.
about him.
Yeah, when we start.
Always about God.
getting
Okay, but
some
that's
bits
also not what we're talking about today. What I actually wanted to speak to you about today is the fact that you are also a business owner of an amazing spa called Mellville Wellness Spa.
Yes.
So on top of everything, you also run a business.
I do.
It is quite incredible. You know, God gives us so many talents.
Yes.
And it makes me think of that parable where the who was it, the owner or the owner of the land came to his workers and he said, I'm giving each of you a talent. Giving you 1, giving you, was it 2, giving you 5 or whatever it was. Now go and do what you feel you need to do with it. And some of us take our talents and we just bury them. And others think that we're going to use them just slightly. But then there are those, such as this amazing lady, that you take what God is giving you and you just multiply it and multiply it. So tell me about this beautiful spa.
Well, this spa actually started as a vision and a dream from God. Quite amazing. I started going on my own and I started my own little business before I actually met God.
Okay.
I say met God because, you know, I was brought up in a Christian home and my parents are beautiful Christian people. But somehow I missed that. I don't know. I mean, they didn't do anything wrong, but there was no fire in my heart for God. I knew that He existed. I knew it was the right thing to do, to go to church. But I didn't really go, you know, once I went out of the house. Here and there, you know, to baptize my child or to get married, of course, you have to go to church. So, you know, did the right thing.
But it wasn't that personal revelation.
Nothing like that. And so I started this business by myself. And as I started the business, I fell pregnant. So having a new business, being pregnant, a baby being born, that's quite a lot to handle.
Sure.
Yeah. And as I had this baby, my husband was also working abroad quite a lot. So I was alone at home. I had this very, she wasn't sickly as such, but she had so much ear problems that we didn't know what was wrong with her. And she was crying day and night, and it's a new baby, and it's a new business, and I'm not sleeping. And so the devil knows when to put something on your path. So he sent me the wrong friends. That could support me in this stressful time. In need. So I got involved with the wrong friends, and at a marriage age got involved with drugs. Which is quite unlikely because you usually think
when
that
you're in your teens.
It's teenagers, it's kids who don't know what they're doing, you know. For me, I don't know, it was people who accepted me for who I was. They brought me something that made me feel better about myself because I felt like such a bad person, such a bad mother. You know, nothing was going right for me. I was stressed all the time. I was sleep deprived. And here comes people who are friendly, they are loving, and they are giving me something that is making me feel good about myself, which is such a dangerous thing. Because if we don't feel good about ourselves, we don't know how special God made us, how much we are worth, then it's so easy to fall into something that makes you feel that way. Because we are all intended to feel good about ourselves. So anyway, through all this, went into a very bad spiral. I came to a place in my life where I actually didn't want to live anymore, obviously, because being on drugs, having no sleep, having all the stress, something is going to give at some stage. And I actually wanted to kill myself. I was going to shoot myself.
Wow.
And but God. But God came. And in this moment where I really didn't want to live anymore, God came. And he spoke to me, and I heard his voice. And he said to me, but he loves me.
Yes.
And that I must ask him for help. And I just started breaking down, crying. In this moment, I'm on the floor, I'm in tears, my life is a mess. And I'm like, all right, let me just try God.
Yes.
I've tried everything else, but I'm going to just give God a moment to show me. And I was taken, I want to say, and lifted into a place which I believe was heaven.
Okay.
And I found myself sitting at a well and cobblestone paving, and I couldn't look up because I had done so many bad things. So I knew I was in this place, but I wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
And all I could see was the feet of Jesus coming.
Sure.
And I knew it was Jesus because I saw these brown sandals with holes in his feet and a white robe. And I just saw him approaching. So I couldn't look up. I just looked down all the time. And as he came closer, I just experienced these waves and waves of love.
Sure.
Like, there's no way to explain it.
Wow.
It's like electricity going straight through my body and changing my DNA physically.
Yes.
And that's how I experienced it. And he
Sure.
put his hand in the water of the well, and he just touched my head, and that was it. It was that I was changed.
Yes.
And I was in my house, and my eyes opened, and I was like, what am I doing in my life? Yeah. And from that day onwards, I was touched. My favorite saying is that 1 second in the presence of the King will change you forever. It's all you need is that time in God's presence.
Sure.
And I was changed. And then I received this dream from God to start this wellness center and day spa.
Yes.
Even, I don't know anything about plans or architects, but I even got I want to say map or plan.
The design.
The design.
Right.
And I just started it. Things just fell in place. And those days the banks gave easy loans. Which now I'm not sure is the right way to go. Don't loan money. Not
if you can avoid that.
If you can avoid that, really. Yes. But anyway, for us, things fell into place. Sure. And I started building this day spa, and that's how it happened.
That is just such a beauty. I did not know that story about the spa. And now it makes sense that when you go visit their website, you'll actually see how beautiful it is and how the whole focus is on rejuvenating your body, mind, and spirit. And it now makes sense that was birthed out of this experience that you had with the Lord. So obviously it's a conventional spa. Yeah. It has all the offerings from slimming, facials, beauty. Which one is your favorite?
For me, the anti-aging, definitely. No one wants to get old. I mean, how's that? I don't know what's up with that gravity. But anti-aging. And then also massage. I love
massage. Yes. Okay, so the spa offers all of that. Where is it, by the way?
It's in Mellville, in Johannesburg.
Okay.
It's actually in town. It's actually quite incredible that when you go through the gates, it feels like you're somewhere away from town because it's a beautiful nature reserve with
setting.
With beautiful hill at the back, gardens. Yes. But it is in Mellville, in Johannesburg, close to the university.
Okay, brilliant.
But we're on the websites and on Facebook and everywhere.
You will see it. Now, I'm going to pause here. We're coming close to the end of the program already, unfortunately. I want you to go to their website on www.Mellville, Mellville, Wellness Center. And if you want to stand a chance to win a voucher to the spa, and if I can say in the Gauteng area, because otherwise it can be in KZN or Cape Town, but then you have to be willing to come up, all right? If you want to stand a chance to receive a voucher, because Mellville Spa is very graciously offering to give a spa away to one of our viewers, go onto the website and I want you to answer this question. So you can't give the answer. I want you to answer this question. This spa is situated at the foothill of which nature reserve? So this spa, the Mellville Wellness Spa, is situated at the foothill of which nature reserve? Answer that question and email us on Real Women. The information is going to come up on the screen. Email us, remember your name, your surname, your contact details with the answer, and we will select somebody who will have the opportunity to go and experience this firsthand. Okay, so don't forget the information. Send it to our email address. The question once again, where is this, at which foothill of which nature reserve is this spa situated? Okay, so now as we're coming to the end of this program, I want to just quickly touch on the fact that one of the focuses of the spa is something what you call Women Empower.
Yes.
What is that all about?
So Women Empower is our charity organization.
Okay.
For the last 14 years, we've actually longer, I think it's about almost 17 years, I've been empowering young women at my wellness center.
Okay.
I was so blessed when I grew up that my parents were able to afford training for me.
Yes.
And I wanted to pass along that blessing to other less fortunate young women.
Okay.
So we take girls from all walks of life, sometimes off the streets, sometimes
Yes.
from very poor backgrounds, sometimes abused.
Yes.
And we teach them life skills as
Wow.
well as beauty skills at our center through our Women Empower program.
Okay.
So if people want to donate towards the program, they are
Excellent.
so welcome. We just
That is
recently
beautiful.
registered our NPO because up to now we've been funding it personally.
Yes.
But unfortunately we just can't do that anymore. So it's very
That is
exciting.
amazing.
This program.
So go
It's
to the
lovely.
website again. I'm going to give you their website, www.Mellville Wellness Center. The information will come up on the screen. Go check it out, Women Empower. And if you feel that you want to get connected to this amazing charitable organization, if you want to support it, put your support behind it, or if you have any questions for Lorna that you want to ask her, please contact her. I think she'll be very happy to take your questions. And then, of course, if you're wanting to get involved in it somehow, I'm sure that they will also be able to assist you. So it's just been so wonderful speaking with you again. Aren't you feeling inspired? Aren't you just feeling full of hope, and that doesn't matter what God has said to you, you know you can do it, or doesn't matter what you are facing at the moment in your life, you know you can. And Lorna, thank you for sharing that testimony. One final word of encouragement to our viewer.
I think from my side is time. Sorry, to all the women out there, the biggest thing that we can give ourselves is time. There's a reason in the airplanes that they tell you to give yourself the oxygen first.
Yes.
Before you serve your child. And somehow, as women these days, we do not give ourselves enough oxygen. Time with God, oxygen, get that. And time for yourself. Make time to feel special, time to love yourself, time to spoil yourself is actually important. And it's actually
So
a commandment
important.
from God, because it
Yes.
says, love yourself. You
Yes,
know, in
yes.
Matthew, it's a commandment.
Yes.
Love God with all your heart, love your neighbor.
Right,
How?
right.
As
you
you
love
love yourself. And if you don't love
Beautiful.
yourself, and you don't owe yourself enough time, and treat yourself,
Yeah.
spoil yourself,
How can you love others?
how can you love others? And how
Sure.
can we really, truly love God and
Yes.
understand His love
Yes.
for us?
Well, I agree with you 100%. I think I'm going to go book my spa treatment right now, because I've heard that word and I'm going to receive it and do something about it. Lorna, thank you so much. It's been
Such
a
a
privilege and an honor to have you on Real Women, Real Life. We look very forward to see where God's going to be taking you in the next year. And I think in a year's time, we'll get you back and see what else He's doing in your life. So thank you so
Exciting,
much.
awesome.
Thank you so much, and bless you once
Thank
again.
you.
www.Mellville Wellness Spa. Go check it out. Send us your answer to that question. You can stand a chance to win a very special treat to the spa. Thank you so much for being with us on Real Women. I trust you've been inspired. Go and have a wonderful week filled with God's goodness and His blessing upon your life. Till next week, we'll see you then.
As you can see, this is Avos. I don't know how many people like Avos, but let me tell you how important Avos is. It's got its own natural oils, but the nice thing, it's also got antioxidants. But as you know today, also not a lot of people eat Avos, and also not a lot of people's got access to Avos. So just remember that Avos is quite important as well. It rejuvenates the skin, it's got antioxidants, and will make you feel younger. Who doesn't want to feel younger? We do all want to feel younger. But If you can't have access to avos or you don't like avos, Ozone Wellness got an alternative. We've got the Collagen Plus Peptin. It's got 90% of peptin in. It's a proudly South African manufactured product. What it's got in as well, it's got Q10 in. So once again, while you sleep, because you drink it at night before you go to sleep, you can lose weight, but not why we are using this. We're using this actually to make the wrinkles, reducing of wrinkles. And once again, nobody likes wrinkles. Well, I don't. I'm sure you also don't. So what it does, it reduces wrinkles, but it also helps for joint pains, and it produces collagen too inside the body. So you're going to look younger.